it's Andrew Bell, and oh my goodness, we're having some breathtaking weather here on the Gold Coast over the past few weeks. And for those of us who live here, we fully understand why it's rated as one of the 6 best climates in the world. We can't get enough of it. Thrilled today to be coming to you from 97 Commodore Drive, Paradise Waters. Wow, what a stunning property this is. It's a much larger allotment with over 1,100 square metres. It's on the northern side of Paradise Waters and along Main River. It's a very small, unique section of residential property. Now, Robbie Graham from our Ray White Prestige team just recently sold, only a month or so ago, a home just doors away, under the hammer, at auction for $10.8 million. It was a near new home, so many people are looking for homes that they can live in and add value to. And this is certainly one of those. But it gives you an idea of just how sought after they are. I'll let you have a look through the home as I deliver my report, and I'll give you a little bit more information at the end. Now, I've had unprecedented amount of feedback from my last news where people were somewhat irate that we just seem to be dancing around the main issue with our current housing crisis, and that is, in one word, supply. While nothing much is happening at a federal level, it was good to see the Queensland government announce it's identified quite a number of unused and vacant land sites held by the government that they are suggesting can be now used to supply low-cost housing, and housing can be built for rental accommodation. Let's hope we go from talk to action swiftly, because governments traditionally are very slow to act at all. Now, this week we've had the peak body of the real estate industry, namely the Real Estate Institute of Australia, hold their board meeting and a unique roundtable discussion with those who have the most knowledge about the current status of the housing crisis here on the Gold Coast. People such as the Mayor, Tom Tate, Australia's leading real estate economist, Nerida Conisbee, together with others, to get a really good insight on just how large the problem is here on the Gold Coast, where we're experiencing the greatest population growth of anywhere in Australia, and to work on policy recommendations that we can present to and discuss with our federal government. The Real Estate Institute of Australia not only represents the real estate industry of Australia, but also represents buyers and sellers, landlords and tenants on a national basis. And so nobody is more knowledgeable and more informed on real-time issues from the grassroots. We are in the best position to work with the federal government to try and influence strong, swift and bold decisions to address this housing crisis. Now, as a member of the board, I really was so pleased to be able to push forward some of the suggestions about the most critical recommendations to government. And we're really going to take that on a pretty strong basis with them. Now, in the meantime, you may have seen the new CoreLogic house price report that says recovery is on the way. Now, while a few people may think there's just a little bit of optimism, there's a few things I'll share with you and explain why that belief is in place. Firstly, we know our federal government has announced a sharp rise in immigration, which will see record growth in our population over the next few years. At the very same time, housing approvals fell to their lowest level in almost 2 years. That occurred in the year up to March. New dwelling approvals in the 12 months fell by 15% to only 180,000 approvals throughout the country. Now, what is scary is we know that approvals don't always turn into properties that are built. So the construction levels will even be lower. The industry is forecasting that this decline will only worsen off the back of soaring building costs, rapidly rising interest rates, and the lack of buyers willing to commit to building a new home as opposed to buying an existing home. So is the forecast of a turnaround in the real estate market just talk, or is it real? Well, here's some of the latest from the auction front, where we see incredible results right around the country. Success rates vary from area to area, and generally between 55% and most recently as high as 86.7% success rate on auction day, which was recorded right here by the Ray White Group on the Gold Coast. Registered bidders ranging anywhere from 4 to 6 registered bidders on average per auction, which is showing great strength in the marketplace. You may have seen the reports out in the last week or so that housing prices have actually started to rise in many parts of Australia, generally by a small percentage, but certainly suggesting that price correction phase of the market may have been arrested. Whilst undoubtedly there's a lot of people, and in particular those who bought in 2021 and 2022, who are significantly affected by the rising interest rates over the last year. Those who bought prior to 2021 really haven't felt any impact at all. Now, for most of those that do come off their fixed rates later this year, it'll be interesting to see how they handle the higher interest rates. But remember, most have seen huge increases in their property values, and that will have a significant amount of equity available so they could refinance and draw down some extra capital to help with loan repayments. So it's been quite a surprise to people to think that as we are approaching the peak of the interest rate cycle, that we're actually seeing a minute pickup in real estate activity and real estate prices. There's certainly been lots of surprises since the pandemic first hit Australia, and here's maybe another one. What we've always got to remember that the real estate market is driven by the most basic driver of all, and that is supply and demand. And at the moment, the supply is so small and the demand is so large, we know what's going to happen with real estate prices. Just before I give you some more information on 97 Commodore Drive, there's something really important I'd like to raise with you. Around Australia, a record number of people have now become homeless. We're about to enter our winter months, and already in so many parts of Australia we're getting unusually cold weather. This is impacting our homeless. I see it every morning on my early morning walks, where I see more and more people, particularly families sadly, living in their cars or indeed pitching tents in various locations. Homelessness has more than doubled in the past couple of years. Record numbers of people are living on the streets, and this winter's predicted to be one of our coldest. So there is this opportunity for us to be able to help our fellow Australians, our brothers and sisters who are finding themselves in unimaginable positions. For the 5th year now, I'm taking part in Vinnies CEO Sleepout. As I said, record numbers of people are needing that assistance, so I do ask if you could please give consideration to a donation to my fundraising appeal. I'll be sleeping out on the rough on the 22nd of June, and your support for our fellow Australians who are homeless would be greatly appreciated. I've included a link where you can go directly to donate, and you'll be amazed just how your $20, $25, $50 or $100 would make such a difference in many other people's lives. So back here to 97 Commodore Drive. What an amazing home. Breathtaking position. This is one of the widest sections of river. This indeed is one of the largest allotments of land on a single title on Paradise waters. So much style and character about this home. Huge jetty at the back here, just new. The home lends itself to further improvements if you wish to do so, but everything it wants here. Bedrooms galore. It has actually got 2 primary areas of living, and you've got this wonderful rooftop viewing area. Look, you've really got to do yourself justice and come and have a look. It's like no other, and we know just how popular all these magnificent palm trees are. It's what the Gold Coast is about, and this has some of the most handsome trees of the lot. Make your way here. Details on screen now about our agent Robbie Graham, who'd be delighted to help you, and he can inform you about inspection times and so on. But come on down, have a look at this, and get yourself into one of the premier parts of the Gold Coast. That's it for now. Look forward to being with you in a fortnight's time. See you then.